Hey, you guys, it's Denise Walsh here, and today we're going to talk about the 3 keys that you need to know to host a powerfully effective coaching session. As a clinical psychologist turned dream life coach, I've been doing this work for over 20 years, and there's a few things that I see new coaches doing, a few mistakes that I see new coaches doing that will level your effectiveness up like 100-fold if you make these few tweaks. And the reality is, you guys, is that you don't need to have years and years of experience to be an excellent coach. And I think that's often a fear that newer aspiring coaches have. They think things like, I don't have a clinical psychology degree, or I haven't done it for 20 years, or I don't know if I would be good, and that kind of thing. And so the tips that I'm going to share with you today are going to help you look seasoned, even if you're new. And and I think that's what all new and aspiring coaches want. They want to leave the session feeling confident. They want to hang up on Zoom or leave the coaching session feeling like, heck yeah, like we did that thing. Like we know what we're doing, and you feel and know that you are helping your client. Am I right? Give me that's me in the comments. And so today I'm going to share with you 3 things, and I do have a bonus for that new and aspiring coaches need to do in order to seem more seasoned. Okay, so the first one, and this is key for every single coaching call, not just your first few, but you want to warm the space. So the goal here isn't that you deep dive into heartfelt content and get them crying in the first 2 minutes, right? You want to warm the space. You want them to get to know you. You want them to build real trust, right? So eye contact, leaning forward and asking questions, being totally in tune to the session. Like you're here for them, right? And so they want to feel that. And the way that they feel that is by your attention. So eye contact, leaning forward, like warm, open, and you can feel the difference in vibe, right? If I'm sitting here like this, obviously I don't look very interested, and who's going to want to tell me anything? And so when you're working with people, even on Zoom, you can be warm and you can be friendly and you can warm the space. Now, in a one-on-one setting in person, similar things. You might have a notepad that you can write things down on, but you're leaning forward, you are having good eye contact, your phone is off to the side, you're not on it. You know what I mean? You are giving them your full attention. So, the second thing is that as a coach, your job is to be open and directive. And so we want to balance this. In the first few sessions, it really will be mostly them talking. And ongoing, it's going to be them talking most of the time, right? Our job is to guide the conversation. But we also want to be taking them somewhere. And that's what I love about Dream Life Coaching is that we're not just a place for people to kind of like brain dump all of the things. Like we create that space, but we also are teaching skills and we're being directive. And in essence, you're also casting belief and confidence. Like, I know this seems hard right now, but I've seen people just like you experience success in this program. Or I know that this seems overwhelming, or maybe you're not sure if this will work for you, but I've seen XYZ. I've seen it work for you or for people just like you. You're like building belief and confidence. You're being directive. So you're open, warm, friendly, a good listener, all that stuff, but you're also taking clients places. And that's where the Dream Life pathway and the Dream Life coaching content come into play, because you have a plethora of exercises to draw from. You can utilize one of our programs and step by step take people through that program that you know is going to support their goals, right? The third thing is that 80% of the conversation is client led. You don't need to be the wise one, right? You don't need to have all the answers. Your job is to help them figure out their answers. And so it's a client led discussion. And so you give them feedback, like, so it sounds like XYZ. How are you feeling about this? What do you really want? Like, you're asking them probing questions. And we have a whole list of questions to ask during the session based on what's happening. But 80% of the time, the client is talking. Now, here's what I've learned. New coaches often like to build rapport by saying things like, Oh my gosh, me too. My aunt lives in Florida too. Or, oh, I have a dog. What kind of dog do you have? Like, oh, here's my dog. So we think we're building rapport when we're saying, oh, we like the same things or that kind of stuff. But in reality, what you're doing is shifting the energy of the space. You don't want to bring it back to you by saying, oh, me too. You want to stay with the focus on the client by saying, how long have you had that dog? How often do you visit Florida? Like, keep probing them. As soon as you start talking about yourself, the energy of the room shifts and it's less effective. And then a bonus tip, this one I think is really important though, because oftentimes I have new coaches say things like, all right, well, when would you like me to hold you accountable? Or I will call you or text you or message you on Tuesday to see if you did the thing we talked about. Or, they start putting onus of responsibility on the coach, on themselves for being the one that supports the client. And what I've learned is that we cannot care more about our client's success than our client does. And so our job at the end of the session is to say things like, all right, so what was good about this conversation? Like, why is this supportive to you? What is one thing you want to focus on between now and the next time we meet? And you text me, client, when it's done. Okay. You message me when it's done. You let me know when you're done with this thing that we talked about. And I think at the end of the day, you guys, I know that puts the onus of responsibility back on the client. And that's what we really want. We don't want to have to remember all this stuff about all the different clients we're seeing. I'm going to text them on Tuesday and I'm going to, find this book out for them and make sure I send it over or whatever the case may be. You're getting them to choose their action and then you're getting them to communicate with you once that action is completed. And that, my friends, is how you have a warm, friendly, yet directive coaching session that gives clients exactly what they need to move forward. So if you are a new or aspiring coach, or if you just want more skills in your coaching, in your current coaching program, comment coach below and let's talk, because I certify coaches in my methodology with dozens and dozens of exercises that they can utilize with clients, questions to ask, a methodology to go through, and they also have the ability to sell the programs in our coaches community so that they don't have to figure it out on their own. Let me know if you're interested. Comment coach below, and I look forward to seeing you soon.